Hey guys, we're live. This is Iron Orchid Designs. This is my sister Josie Celio, and I am Sally Griswold, and we are Iron Orchid Designs
for Prima Marketing. We create DIY decor tools for easy application with sophisticated results. If you like the high-end decor, then these tools are for you.
Exactly. So there are things that everybody can use. They're really easy application. We're going to show you that today. And we have some awesome stuff. What?
I said you're going to love them.
Oh, okay.
You're going to love the project.
I'm going to be working the camera, so I'm going to hand it over to Joe's here, and we'll get going.
Let's do it.
Oh, the question. We want to ask a question.
Oh, yeah.
So the question is, after you see what we're doing and what the products are, we want to know how you see yourself using these products as well. Okay, awesome. So I'll hand it over to Joe.
Get over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So your first step is to procure yourself an inexpensive thrift shop frame. It can have art in it or not. What it needs is it needs to have the glass. That's what you're going to use. We're going to be discarding the stuff that's on the inside, so no matter. So let's first, am I all centered here, sis?
Yes, you are centered, and I will zoom in to what you're doing.
Very good.
As you get started.
Okay.
So no worries.
So we are taking the guts out of the frame, moving them aside, and now we're going to carefully remove the glass because the edges are sharp, as glass is wont to do often. Move the frame out of our way. And now we are going to clean the surface. Real quick, I want to see, I don't know if they can see it. I used, while it was still in the frame, just a chalk marker to mark on the inside of the frame so that I could see how much overlap there was as a guide on the front of the glass, not the side that we're painting. It's not important to do that. I just did it as an extra little easy guide. Now we're going to clean our glass because we want good adhesion. I'm just using some rubbing alcohol and paper towel because I like the degreasing qualities of alcohol. So, pretty no big deal. So you know what I just did? I just cleaned off my little guide markers. Oh well, like I said, it's no big deal, right? We don't really need it. In fact, I didn't do it on the original. I just thought, ooh, this would be easy little way to see where my margin is. But it's, again, not important. It's like 1/4 of an inch.
Let us know where you guys are tuning in from, too. We love to see where everyone's from.
Now, because we're going to be stamping, I put a piece of plywood under this space, a nice flat piece of plywood. The table itself was not flat enough for my liking. Okay, so that's nice and clean. Now, you heard what I said about having a perfectly flat surface, especially because you've got glass here, and when you apply pressure on it, you want it supported in a flat way. So, next what we're going to do is create these 45-degree angle masks, okay? That's super easy. All you do is you take a piece of paper, right, and you fold it like that, edge to edge, to create a perfect triangle. And what I did was I did the lick 'em and tear 'em thing. You can cut it though if you'd rather, if you're a little more proper than me. Okay, now we're going to create, let's do this side first, a mask
I'm not seeing any of
for this side and this side. So you're taping it in place to make your 45-degree, because we're mitering this. Not every, and you don't want to put your tape on this side. Just laying it in place to give yourself it's called masking, you know, covering or protecting the area where you don't want the paint to go, okay? And I would, if I hadn't run out of tape, add a couple more spots. We're going to be using this Moroccan style set here, and we are going to start with this. So guys, here's one of the tricks for stamping that I really like. I like to place my clean stamp image side down, stamping surface down for a moment where I'm going to have it. Now, that's not exactly where I'm going to have it, but what I've done is I've gotten it towards the edge here where I want the final image to be stamped. And then with my gridded block, what that does is I can use these lines to reconcile it with the edge in a way that's a really, it helps with accurate placement to place where I want it. Okay? So then, excuse me, I've got it mounted on my block, and next is to put some color on it. Now, the color I've here, and this is a chalk style paint that I've pre-mixed because I wanted just a certain shade of a medium dark gray. And I'm going to put a little bit, a couple tablespoons of my paint here.
Perfect.
And with this roller.
And Joyce, what kind of paint is that? Can you go into that a little bit?
Yes.
I know people are going to want to know.
This is a chalk type paint, and I've mixed white and graphite together to get the exact depth of color I want. A note about that, the color you choose for this is important because it will determine how bold the net result is. I like using this because I wanted it to be kind of subtle, not to like be bam, paint showing through. But there's a time for doing it bam, paint showing through too. So you can just make your color choice accordingly. So
it depends on how bold you want it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm using this almost like a brayer to get it evened out and load my applicator roller. And then I'm going to load my stamp.
We have also used ink for this project, which we sell, but the reason we're choosing chalk paint today is because it dries quicker.
Yes, it does. It dries quicker. So now I'm going to position this, making sure that I'm clearing this edge so that I don't have a gap here. And I'm lining my stamp up with the edge of the glass.
That's what the awesome thing is about the clear acrylic block, is you can see exactly what you're doing.
And then I'm putting it in place, being careful not to shift it. Remember, glass is slidey and slick. So you want to put it down carefully and then just gently go through and apply pressure so you know you're making good contact in all your areas, but you don't want to shift it or it will smear your design. Whoops. There we go. Right on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do it again, lining up here. The cool thing is, say you get that on there and you're like, oh, I want a better impression, or I want it a little juicier. In fact, let me show you that. I'm going to do just that. It will wipe off easily. It's wet. Boom, boom. Easy peasy. I'm going to do the same thing.
Here she goes again.
Set it down carefully. Do not shift it. Just gently press. If you get a teeny bit of smudge or whatever, it's not a big deal. We're not looking for perfection.
It's very forgiving.
It's very forgiving. But what we are looking for is this hand-printed look that we're going to be getting. Okay? So now I'm going to repeat that and line my work up. And these are designed in a way that you can line them up so that you don't have a big seam. And you can see right through it. Just using my hand to steady it as I look at my edge, lay it down gently, apply gentle pressure.
These are the Iron Orchid Designs decor stamps. We probably should have talked about those a little bit more. They are scaled and designed specifically for decor. They're the only stamps on the market that are that way, that are designed for that.
And there's just a little tiny bit left right here. I'm just gonna go bink, bada bing, like that. Just like butter, baby. Okay, next we are going to do this side. And here's the cool thing. This project is super forgiving because A, it's this hand-printed look, kind of like a block printed look, but B, it's going to be distressed. So you've got all kinds of margin for error. This is a rad project for your first exposure to the looking glass paint as well as stamping on glass. Load it up, and I'm going to repeat it on this side, and then we are going to, I think, put the fan on it for a minute.
And this just takes a minute to dry.
So I'm just laying this on here.
Being careful because we did dry it quickly.
So these are going to give you really nice mitered corners.
Ideally, you would want it to dry longer than this, but we don't want to make you guys wait.
Yeah. In a perfect world, you might let it dry a little longer. Oops. Just lining that up, so what you're doing is you're covering the area, the other side. Whoops. Okay, now I was showing this, but Sally wasn't responding to what I was showing. It's just chalk type paints. One of their charms is they dry. Now it's kind of quick, but also you want to keep that in mind when you're working with it. If you're going to stow it for a minute.
Right, cover it up with some plastic or some saran wrap works really well too.
Yes. So now,
what we actually do with those applicator rollers, which we also sell, is we put them in a sandwich baggie and zip them shut so that we don't have to rinse them out every time. If you're going to be using them anytime soon, you can just put them in a sandwich baggie and then they're good for next time. We like those quick and lazy tips.
I call them quick and clever.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay, very nice.
Ooh, beautiful.
And now we're going to reload and complete that. But you can see how quick this is. It's like no biggie.
Yeah.
Line up in the general direction.
You got it.
Place without shifting.
See?
Pressure going down, but not side to side. But again, say you do it, you fudge it. Is it a big deal? No. Because why? You can wipe it off, carefully wipe it off, and do it over. So I have a little, I wasn't that great on lining that up, but it's not a big deal. As you'll see, the end result, it won't even end up.
You don't notice
it will just add to the look. It's not going to look like a mistake. It's just going to look as part of the charm. The next step is this bad boy.
Also, I don't know if Josie mentioned this, but part of the reason that you might see like this spot right there is because we are working on a Costco table. Ideally, you want a very firm, hard surface like a wooden table that's not going to give, so that you get that reverse pressure when you're doing your impressions.
Okay, so now I'm using the smaller applicator block. And again, the grid I use, the grid is really handy for lining it up and just helping yourself stay centered. Now, do I need a little more paint? And I'm gonna, whoops, load that up just so. And I'm gonna try to shoot for about center of the space because I'm doing 3, but it won't be perfect. We're not shooting for perfect. You know, and the cool thing is people are pushing the boundaries of what surfaces can be painted and what kind of protective measures you can take and stuff like that. So the timing couldn't be better to start playing with adding designs into that.
Mm-hmm. What I love about the stamps is that they're stamps. Stamps have been around for generations, and so everyone knows how to use them. They're very easy to use, but the designs that we've created are sophisticated for decor, so it kind of blends the two worlds, ease of use and sophistication. So she's going on the inside of one of the paisleys. The stamp sets are designed to work together in a lot of different motifs and layouts. You can use them with or without that inside, but it fits perfectly in that little niche right there.
Yes, and I think we actually did something like that too, right? What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I should go, there's other little pieces I could do, but
Yeah,
what do you
I
think?
would.
Just do this?
As long as you're not going to hit your other design. Is that
No,
gonna be
because
okay?
this is held up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now we do need to let it dry. I think we're ready for the next step. So we've got a mix of 50-50 water and vinegar, white vinegar here. And so the trick here is we just want to spatter a little bit, okay, onto this. So do a test spray, and I find that if you do the trigger kind of, yeah. Okay, can you see, I just got some spattering, okay? So now is kind of the fun part. While that's wet, we are going to do our looking glass paint. Even thin coat for your first and subsequent coats. What you're doing is this water droplets is acting as a resist. Shake it well, especially because it's cold. Okay? So I can't get my hand in it because that would require it to be closer than we want. Okay?
So you can see where the spatters happened before she sprayed, where the vinegar water solution, you can now see it now that you're spraying.
On this dry here, I wish I could get the camera and show the surface because it really is nice. Now, we're dry enough. I'm going to dab it with a paper towel. Just dabbing, you're not rubbing at this point, you're just patting off. That's vinegar and water. I'm going to do, I think, 4 coats.
Okay. Drying, dry.
Looking for this, and now we're gonna again dab, and that the little blisters that you created with the water spots come up. Okay. I'm not doing this the spatters on the next 2. I just did on the first 2. Okay. Now we are going to.
Oh wow, this is looking so amazing. I don't think it's gonna go home with Josie.
Now remember, you need to have a light hand, a light and delicate hand when you're doing any of the distressing, because it comes up rather easily. Whoops.
Oops. Why you say whoops?
So
this is the final coat of the matte black, correct?
Yes. Yeah, and you can also use the ones that are the 2 times with the primer. Heather uses that and really likes it. Oh, Heather's one of our design team gals. Thick it works. She is awesome and always pushing the boundaries of what can be done.
So this spray paint is what?
This is Rust-Oleum Flat Protective Enamel.
There you go.
It's got a narrower spray pattern, which is fine. Just
yeah.
get it good and even.
You're getting it. Maybe right here, a little bit.
And then I'm going to put the fan on it to dry. And then we're going to flip it up.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Yeah, we have a finished one that we can show you since we're all done with the steps. And Josie's gonna bring it onto the camera so you can see what it looks like when it's done. So let me pan back so we can see the whole thing. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Ah, makes my heart melt. Hey, you can see me. Hey, everybody. Okay. There it is. So that is exactly what it looks like when it's finished. And you can use any different type of design that you want to use. I love the look of this one. It's kind of a really cool vintage bohemian look, which is my fave right now. Super beautiful. Oh, I like that one even better. It's more vintage, which I love. Oh, that's really pretty.
Like it. You know what? I also like it with the lower profile frame. You could do too. You could do it either way.
Yeah, you could do it frameless if you figured out a way to hang it, like from a wire or something. Frameless would be gorgeous too.
True. The only thing is when you put it in a frame and you have the back on, you've got that extra layer of protection because you've got it encased.
Right.
I would like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, but I think a low profile frame that's the Anthropologie ones have a really low profile frame. Yeah. So I think allows the design to really shine.
Yes, and as you can see here, you can see the black where the distressing is a little heavier.
Make sure that you guys hit subscribe to Hometalk, and if you want to follow Josie and I in our DIY fun adventures, we would love that. IronOrchidDesigns.com by Prima
Marketing.
Yes, thanks you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're gonna sign off for now. Okay.